This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I will be playing the Pulp Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The campaign is The Two Headed Serpent. It was written by Paul Fricker, Scott Dorward, and Mathew Sanderson. It's available directly from Chaosium and also from Drive-Thru RPG. I'm the Keeper of Arcane Lore, and this is episode 17. Our recap will be given by David Gasaway as his character, as his hero, Dr. Jude Harrow. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. David?
Thank you, Tom. From Borneo to Oklahoma, curiouser and curiouser. Well, the colleague currently known as Lloyd Green has returned to us after a couple of days' absence. I think his cheese has slipped a little bit off his cracker, Stoney said. While the rest of us were considering what of Caduceus's secrets might be hidden in the highest and lowest reaches of the headquarters, the suspicions of Green's associates among the Casa Nostra led him to a mystery warehouse in Red Hook. Following his description, we found that Caduceus indeed maintains one completely normal warehouse in the district, bustling and full of medical supplies, and another next door, unmarked, that seems to do no business but be heavily guarded. More layers of strange secrecy. We have forged keys for the elevator to the 17th and 18th floors, and scoped out the mystery warehouse in preparation to attempt some sort of breach, waiting for nightfall to begin our skullduggery. But then we get the call from Gonzalez. Meeting at 5. Do they suspect? In what remains of the afternoon, we drop in on Tiraniche. I thought a phonograph and some Bach and Cole Porter records might help her pass the time. Fern brought her scented oils. We talked about what does and does not constitute a god for her civilization, and she told us that her people for ages used a being called Gdanathoa beneath the citadel on the island of Mu as an energy source. Tiraniche resents being held in Manhattan and pumped for information. What, I wonder, did a godlike being think about being milked for power by serpentines? Gonzalez, when we meet him, explains that there's a curious sect in Oklahoma, nominally Christians, who are worshipping Yig, the so-called father of serpents. It's remarkable that a faith practice from Tiraniche's day continues on into the modern world. Gonzalez plays for us a recording of the radio broadcast from the church from Bingham, Oklahoma, broadcasting publicly passages from the book of Genesis, but carrying a secretive secondary signal in English and Naakal, encouraging the worship of Yig, and exhorting all who hear it to gather there. The blessings come to waiting hearts, the preacher asserts, while speaking in an ancient and inhuman tongue. We are told that historically, Yig cults have not been a problem, but such worship seems meant only for hybrids like myself, Goose and Green. So we're off to the windswept plains of Oklahoma. Don't be heavy-handed, says Gonzalez. So, just one crate of grenades?
So, you still have a couple of days before your train leaves. What are your plans? Now it's evening after your meeting.
Yeah, I feel like the fact that Gonzalez had us meet at 5 means that we have ample reason to be staying in the building later than most of the staff. So I think, you know, maybe I don't know if they serve evening meals at the commissary, but we either take that or a conference room to discuss our plans for Oklahoma and, see how empty the building gets by, say, 7 o'clock.
Sure.
What do we have in terms of mechanisms for incapacitating guards on upper floors without meaningfully harming them?
Good old bonk stick.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, did we manage to bring back any of those tipped arrows that the little monkey things had used on us? Maybe we can use one of them.
Definitely, you guys sampled every plant we got a hold of in Borneo, so if you can synthesize some of that, it was pretty good at incapacitating people.
Yeah, I could probably whip up a little like wrist gadget to puff out you know,
Can those
a,
plans go bad? Or was it just one specific one?
Oh, things from the dream world
they
didn't,
disappeared.
yeah, they vanished. I don't know whether that toxin was, it probably was. Those creatures weren't from Borneo.
Hmm.
Well, what if knocking out guards isn't the idea? What if we did something, I don't know, pull a fire alarm? Something like that, cause some kind of diversion that would, some sort
I,
of quote unquote natural disaster.
I
Really
mean, we have
something to
Plan
look at
C
that
of
way.
me starting a fire in the lab to divert attention.
I vote
You
plan
do that.
C. Let's just do it.
Well, you'll have to make it look like it was something natural.
I'll just start messing around with something, and
Accidents happen.
yeah, when you're messing with alien tech or, stuff you don't quite understand.
I wouldn't be surprised if there were accidents in the labs here with some frequency, given the fact that they gave us a time bomb with a sun inside it and sent us on a plane to Borneo. But also feel like we want to leave as little trace of infiltration as possible. I mean, that's
Yeah.
why we've got a key to the elevator.
And
I
I,
feel
Not
like we
anyone.
want to be employing more stealth than building wide subterfuge.
and I'm
Could
guessing
be
if you have a whole secret floor that requires an elevator, that floor probably has guards that have been told you don't leave this floor unless you're directed by me directly to do so. Let the downward staff handle the fires.
well, you know what we could do. There's always a chance that our not so friendly counter organization has sent in a threat and a hand grenade, and somehow it ends up in the loading dock when no one's there. And all of a sudden, everyone's out, except for maybe one or two people who are still inside of the building who have been hiding.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be much nicer to just pump a gas under the 17th floor that knocks the guards out and doesn't involve everyone in the building in a panic and public outcry and property damage?
I
That right there
I
is all really good senses
Or
of
an
like distraction.
inquiry.
They wouldn't be looking at us.
I'm thinking like Dr. Harrow and that we try subterfuge and do this quietly. Um, and it's like you all said, could easily blame the other
Day or
group.
night? Yeah.
You know,
We could also let Tiranish out, and that sounds like that would be a nice diversion.
Is
Well, I
that,
have a feeling once letting her out, there's no putting her back in.
yeah.
Um,
We are just spitballing ideas here.
yeah, Yeah.
I do
Well, I
feel
mean, we
like
could.
this is the perfect night for it, but yeah.
Yeah, I
Unless
think you're right.
Unless you guys would really like to work it out, I would take an intelligence roll from one of you. Um, but if you guys want to work it out, I I won't do an intelligence roll. There's not really an answer. You have choices to make. I could
I think
tell you
the,
some of the consequences that might happen, though.
Well, I
think
will say, go ahead.
I think whatever we do has to be done. I mean, bonking someone is probably going to they'll see
The
us, or there's a chance we'll be seen. Going up and puffing some sort of gaseous thing in their face is going to lead to us being seen. They'll probably remember afterwards. So I think whatever we have to do it unseen. I mean, maybe piping gas underneath a doorway or whatever, but I think it's a more removed approach by us, or go in unseen completely somehow.
I wonder
I'll
how.
give
Yes.
I'll give you one thing. Here's the thing. The building has been under attack before by the inner night. If they have even an inkling that somebody from the inner night has infiltrated, the whole place is going to lock down tight, and there's going to be thorough investigations of everything involved because that's their enemy. So that kind of a distraction might be disastrous for your in any kind of investigation.
I
Yeah,
think there's just a lot of
that's
approaches that just bring eyes on us. So
Yeah. And
Yeah, and
my
if they
one.
thought you were in the inner night, then you might be executed. Who knows?
Well, maybe we should poke around in the archives some more. Was there anything that would lend itself to some sort of invisibility?
might be worth looking. I mean, we are half our party can assume another form. Just,
Well, that's a thing. We were talking recently about the fact that Caduceus has to do medical research. Are there cadavers on the premises? I
Well,
mean,
I asked
You don't
for
know.
them. I don't think they brought them yet.
I mean, we are in New York. We could just, follow the sirens and hope we come across, an accident and snatch a body.
well, yeah,
That
and I mean every hospital has a morgue in it too, so three of us could dress ourselves that way. Although if we, use the illicit key to go to the 17th floor and walk out as three totally different looking people, we're still three people that aren't authorized. So, it would be nice for us not to be recognized, but better not to be seen at all. I don't suppose it'd
yeah.
be very hard to shut down the power to those floors and thus put
That
the guards in darkness, although they probably have flashlights, but that makes it a lot harder for them to operate.
that's something to my skill set, maybe.
If we blacked out those floors, then popped some chloroform in the elevator before we went up, then maybe we'd find very sleepy guards in the dark. And that would, they would recognize that there had been a breach, but they wouldn't be able to tell who it was. We'll obviously put masks on and whatnot.
But they might increase security after. It might make it a little bit harder. But yeah,
I assume we're not going to be going back and forth.
who knows how much there is to find. But yeah, it's definitely sounds like a good idea.
Goose, what's your
Yeah.
opinion on the matter?
I'm thinking just a distraction would be decent, but not something like the inner night does something like, yeah, that would break too much security here. Just a normal accident or something happening that is out of the ordinary that could happen every day without any malicious implications.
How many people do we need to go up to the top floor, do we think?
I
We'd
think one
like
or
to
two.
we'd like to cover as much space in as little time as possible. We don't know whether we're looking for records or we're going to find an experiment or there's something underneath the dome.
Okay. I'm just thinking if we send two up, the rest of us can pull attention in different directions. Fern can maybe create some sort of distraction with some sort of plant chemical compound. I can cut power to the upper floors, maybe. Stony can Stony can, provide a distraction.
Well, who are we distracting exactly?
I think just as many people as possible, and then the two that go up, which I assume Goose be one of them, with your expertise, and then maybe Dr. Harrow with, you know, some mind powers.
I also
Oh,
do hypnosis,
Yeah.
but it's, not always predictable how someone will respond.
Well, at one point, weren't we considering just going to the top of the building, seeing if there's some sort of entry point through there?
Yeah, we had talked about that actually.
Yeah.
It might be easier to check that out because we seem to be going to an awful lot of trouble that could make an awful lot of trouble for us.
Yeah, it's too bad we can't like just make a phone call to a really annoying regulatory body that shows up to do an inspection.
I think
Pay them
how,
off if we did anything like that. It'd just be about money.
maybe we're just overcomplicating it. I don't think they have.
I mean,
I
we do
think we
have other
can.
resources at our disposal. I've got a couple of friends we could always call in and maybe get some help with.
I'm not sure that's
Yeah,
the kind of help we want, though.
It seems like you owe them a little more than they owe you.
Well, I mean, like I said, it's kind of a give or take relationship. Like, I mean, we're pretty close though.
I
Mhm.
thought you were more from the take or take relationships, but okay.
One
I
thing,
One last thing to remind you of. You guys have a huge luck pool.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like
That's
we'll be
why I
really
think.
lucky in everything we do. Okay.
True.
I
I
think
just want
my
something really cool and pulpy. Like, and that's why I was thinking of like the bomb in the building. Or I guess
I
we could do
Put
like
on
a
yeah.
put
fire.
Well,
on a
another
black trench coat and hide around corners.
I think the
And
best use of my skills is to try to cut the power to the top two floors in some way.
well, another idea I had, I know that we wanted to see what was in the warehouses or get more information. What if we put a little bug in Bonanno's ear that we saw something down there? Maybe he sent some of his monkey wrenches down to manhandle the guards down there, and that could be our distraction and entry point. While they're
So they're
handling them, we go in.
so they're focused on the other side.
Right.
That works.
Yeah, I think
That can
cutting the
help.
power or something and maybe a little distraction, it should be enough. It's not like they'll have a whole army up there. It's probably just a few guards
Well, yeah, the
that we can
difference,
definitely get around.
the
Well, we
difference
could also
between
just you
the
go.
warehouse and here is that we're already allowed in the building and we already have the key. They
Yeah,
probably don't have 10 guards on those floors at all times the way they do at the warehouse in Red Hook because they
no,
have
so
2 layers of security before that. Fern, Jack, can you whip up something soporific in the lab? You
Oh,
know?
I know I could come up with something for you.
Yeah. And I can
Yeah.
explain away needing more power in the lab momentarily to allow myself to mess with the, breakers and whatnot.
Oh, that's nice because then it doesn't even have to be about the infiltration. There was just a power outage, there was a surge on
Yeah.
floor 8.
Yeah, I can just
yeah, that
overpower something,
Yeah, that's the best way to do this. Like make it like Jack is just messing around as normal and something happened that he didn't want to. That way there's no extra guards, no extra security after all of this happens. No extra eyes on us or anything. It's just like, oh, Buzz, did what he always does. Just
And then me and
kind of
Fern,
go ahead.
me and Fern can work up a little something, that y'all can have on you, if you need it to knock someone out. I don't know. Whatever you think you need, we can make it happen, I'm sure.
Like a spray.
Yeah. Something that you can
Right,
spray
you
out
can
like
create a diffuser and I can create an oil or something that you could spray in their faces or in the area.
something single use and disposable. That way, maybe we'll
Bird,
be
you would
tied.
probably know about a lot of different plants that, curare like that could knock somebody out temporarily.
Well, I'm wondering if I could make a powerful enough um, tincture out of a valerian root.
I think that would take a luck roll to see.
And it will
That's what you
smell
wanna
on
do.
those floors for the next several days.
Oh, I passed that good. Yep.
And then what do you need for me to make a dispersal unit, one-off dispersal unit for each of them?
Well, I'm thinking something small, handheld.
Yeah.
Press a button and it just kind of spritzes out in gaseous form.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I will make sure the power to the top couple floors is out.
After we've taken the elevator,
Right.
I guess.
Yeah. We have our communicators, right? Those can be,
Right.
yeah, you can just send me something to say, some sort of code that you're at the 17th or 18th.
We'd
and then
best use code, too. We don't know if we're communicating to somebody without our knowledge.
Yeah.
You already have a code phrase.
Yes.
Me too.
Apples are not the only orange. Is that how it goes?
Someone please remind me what it is.
Have you had any good apples recently?
Wrote it down here somewhere.
It's not much of a useful code phrase. Nobody
that was-
remembers the code phrase.
That was a whole country ago, and a lot of shit blew up between now and then.
What's so
Have you
hard
had any
about
good
remembering
apples recently?
bananas?
Exactly.
Yes.
It's pretty easy.
I mean, we have
No,
bananas, and we have a mob boss with bananas, and it gets jumbled up in the head.
Whatever you do, do not call him banana.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know.
Are we ready to do this?
Yeah. What do I need to, Tom? What do I need to roll to make a device?
Do your
Single use?
mechanical roll.
I passed it by 1 point.
Okay.
I will spin to make it a hard to make sure if I need to, but I
You don't
got
need
a
to.
I got a 67 under 68. So
You've succeeded in anything that you create like that has a chance of failing,
yeah,
but basically you have a spray bottle, and that's
yeah. I spend 4 hours and hand you like just a little spritz bottle.
Oh, I thought you were
Perfume
going to do
bottle.
something cool, like make it look like a fountain pen.
that would be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it just goes. Ch-ch.
All right. So we move on, probably a little bit later in the evening.
Yeah.
Um,
Full dark. Who's the infiltration team? Are we all going? I mean,
think-
Buzz isn't going. Buzz is going to do the power.
I think
Goose is definitely going because he's sneaky. I think
Fern
maybe
is-
between hypnosis and telekinesis, I will probably want to go.
yeah. I was thinking you two, but if we need a third, then
Stoney can do some good bonking.
Yeah, I could do that.
Sounds like we have a plan. Like, yeah, the more people we bring, the more ground we cover, but the more
where's
chances will be
Lloyd
covered
going to be?
Do I know
in the
when this-
archives.
do I know when this is supposed to happen?
Yeah.
Like we've all talked about exactly when it's supposed to happen. I want to be up near DeLuca's office.
Yeah, his office on the 17th.
Is that where I went last time?
Yeah, I think he took you up there.
17th is the isolated one, though, isn't it? Or is the 18th and 19th the upper floors?
So
Or maybe
17th
you
and
were at the
18th.
security. You were the security desk on one of the lower floors. Oh no, you were on 8. Sorry, that's where it is.
It's on 8.
Yeah,
And I did see that that was his personal office, correct? He kept quite a
right.
bit there.
You guys would all also probably if you set somebody to report, like maybe you, Doc, maybe you, Lloyd, when people leave the building, because people go out the front door, even people like DeLuca. They don't live here. I'd say probably the night shift comes on at 10 p.m. So by 10 p.m., you're guessing that people like DeLuca will leave for the day. Um, Anything upstairs, a lot of the doctors and scientists will leave for the day. They probably left earlier than that, in fact. Um, and the night guards don't know you. They've probably never seen you before.
Is there a janitorial service that we need to worry about?
Um, there is probably a janitorial service, although you don't know how that's worked out because, they're not going to have a top security area and then just let a janitor in there unless he's got top security. Um, but most likely there will be cleaning staff in the evening. So the guards probably know them and have it cleared. All right. So uh, I'm going to guess then that those of you going upstairs are going to be in the stairwell at the level just before 17. You can't. You need the key to get above that. And nobody would be using the stairs anyway because they have an elevator. And then Buzz, you are in your office. You're in your office in the lab or your lab.
Yeah, I'm in the lab. I've spent probably the preceding hours talking up someone and like, hey, I'm going to be doing something pretty high powered here. So if there's
So you've given
fluctuations,
them a warning that the power is going to go out. That's
yeah,
good.
yeah, if there's fluctuations, it's normal. I'm messing. I'm trying to recreate the viral analyzer just in a smaller form. So it's easier to
Okay.
take around. So I'm doing a lot of, tests and stuff. So it may cause some power fluctuations here and there. And then I'm going to also kind of figure out, hey, I need to know where the breaker is in case something trips. I need to know so I can run and turn it, get it back going.
Sure. So Lloyd sees DeLuca leave maybe at 10, 12 in the evening. He says goodbye to one of the night guards near the front of the door. He checks whatever his documentation is, and he strolls off into the night. And you report that to everyone else. All right. So let's do some rules. What time are you planning on flipping the switch?
So I think what I've done is I've built just a machine that's going to just overpower and kick the power off in the lab. That gives me my excuse to go to the breaker, at which point I'll cut off the top 2 floors. So we want to do it, what, after 10? Kind of maybe around when the changing of the shifts happens?
No, a little after.
Okay.
Directly after the change of the shift, the guards are still sharp and fresh.
Okay.
Give them a few hours to lull them into a sense of security.
So then around midnight?
Midnight-ish.
Yeah.
Okay. At midnight, I'll really overcrank this machine. Is just a power hog. That's all it is. And,
In that case, Lloyd, are you going to rejoin them? Where are you going to go?
Yeah, but I just want to make sure DeLuca's office where he has everything, it is on the 8th floor, correct?
That's correct. Yeah. He probably has an
Yeah.
office on every floor, but yeah, that's his main one.
Okay.
All right. So you guys are ready. You're in place, and let's have Jack do his. Are you going to wait outside the door until the lights go, and then go through?
I'm gonna.
Or
Them up there.
I'm in the other ones.
Well, again, we want the elevator to work. So we want to arrive on 17 and, before presumably the upper floors are where that engine is that runs the elevators. Historically, they're on the roof. Nowadays, they're in cellars, but back in the day, they were on roofs. So we need that to work so that we can use the keys so that otherwise we'd just be breaking down the emergency door and we would have wasted all that bother with the elevator.
So
All right.
like when y'all get to the 17th, y'all send the code word and that's when I overpower the machine. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's going to happen is you are going to go up to the 16th floor, and then you have to use the key to get the elevator to go up higher. All right. So you get there, you use the key, and you see the little light on 17 and 18 light up so that you can now go. You hit the button.
Couple of us on 17, couple on 18.
Okay.
Okay. In which case, who's getting off on 17?
I'm very curious about the big metal dome on top, so I want to go all the way up.
I'll do
Okay.
17 then. I'm also.
Right. And Stony, where are you? You're with him?
Yeah, I'm with him. I'll go to 18.
Okay. And Fern, you're with them?
I can either go with you or I can stay as a lookout on the 16th.
I think the more eyes we have against guards and toward hidden information, the better.
Okay, I'll go with you.
I assume my idea is that we sent Fern down to the garment district earlier this afternoon, and she brought black pajamas for all of us. So we have these loose black clothing
Sure.
and little rubber-soled slippers.
Okay. So I'm trying to get a clear shot.
Yeah.
Dr. Harrow, you and Stony are on 18, and Gustav and Fern are on 17. And where is Lloyd?
I'm on the 8th floor drinking a cup of coffee.
You're on the 8th floor going into DeLuca's office. Okay, that works.
Would
And Buzz, you-
Dorothy's desk be on 17?
It would be on 17.
All right. I think I might have a poke there.
And
Right.
I think Dr. Harrow and me, we have looked at the blueprint, so we have a general feel for the layout. We might not know which office is whose, but we do know the layout at least, I think. So that should give us an edge.
Okay. All right. So this is going to, let's see if we can get it to go off without a hitch. I think you guys all have really high luck, so I think having you roll for it would be ridiculous. So we'll just say it goes off without a hitch. Jack, just as they reach the 18th floor, so some of you get off quietly on the 17th, some get to the 18th. You flip the switch, There's a power surge. The lights in the building flicker. I'm sure the guards that are there look around at the lights and say, well, we were told that there would be a power fluctuation. And power goes out.
Yeah.
I assume that you guys brought like flashlights or something with you. Okay, so let's do 17 first. Gustav and Fern. You find yourself in a small hallway where the elevator opens, and there are a number of doors, which seem to lead probably into offices and so forth. We'll say there's 4 doors. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Which one would you like to go into?
Are they marked with any names?
Yeah. One says typing pool. One says filing room. One says storage, and the other one says security.
What do you think, Goose? I'm thinking I might go to the filing room.
Filing room or storage seems like our best bets.
Right. Well, you head over there and I'll head in this one, see what I can find.
Yeah, all right.
All right. So when you quietly open up the door to the filing room, it's exactly what you think it is. It is a long list of, a long rows of filing cabinets. They are arranged alphabetically, and they are all locked.
Hmm. Well, maybe I should try Miss Dorothy's desk. She might have a key in there for these cabinets. Can I go to the typing room and see maybe if her desk is in there?
Yeah, you have to go across the hall again, and I'd like you to do a stealth roll.
Oh, yeah, 92 over 50, and that's way too much for me to spend. I must have
Okay.
tripped over my shoelace.
Well, then, as you are moving over to the secretariat, um, you see a flashing light down the end of the hallway that's obviously a flashlight, and it's probably one of the guards. And it doesn't look like he's in any hurry. He's just sort of doing his rounds with the flashlight since the power went out. What do you want to do?
I'll probably duck really quickly back into the filing room and let Goose know the guard's walking around out there.
Okay. You step back in there and quietly close the door. And Goose, are you and Goose going to do anything in there?
I'm in a different room, right?
Yeah, he went to storage, so I was gonna buzz him real
Okay,
quiet.
I
Yeah.
see. All right, so you guys are both in your respective rooms. Are you going to do anything to hide yourselves?
Um, would- which way was the guard coming? Did it look like he was going into one of the rooms?
No, it looks like he's coming down the hallway, but he'll have to pass both of your rooms. The front of these rooms is smoky glass, so you can't really see out, but you can see the light approaching.
So he
Ah,
wouldn't be
okay.
able to see in either, right?
Right.
The safest place would probably be directly behind the door in case he just opened the door for a quick sweep.
Yeah, that's definitely sounds like a plan. Although
Okay.
it's storage, there I assume it's storage. There are like lots of heaps of things that I can hide behind.
Storage rooms is an interesting room. It's got a lot of boxes and crates. None of them large. Uh, a lot of them seem to have Naakal written on the sides of them, as well as English. But they're not the kind of things you could just open. You'd have to get a hammer and pry them open. Okay, let me see how I do on luck. You guys, it becomes very tense as you see the light sort of fluctuating as it's coming down the hallway. You see it hit the smoky glass, the frosted glass. You hear him walk by. You hear him also say something like he must have a communicator as well. And he says, he gives some code word and then all clear, and turns a corner, goes down another hallway. He's away from you.
I'm gonna open a few of the boxes in the storage room. I have 5 points in the account, so I probably don't know too much. There's also English on them on the same boxes, or is like some have Naakal and some have English.
They have both, yeah,
Okay,
on
so
on the same boxes.
I'll look for something that what kind of writing is on the boxes?
It looks like in most cases in the English, it's referring to a place and a date, um, and the word recovery.
Okay. I'll just pop a few open at random then. See what's inside.
Okay. Do a luck roll for me and tell me
Oh,
how well. I guess
I hope I
luck
pass
rolls.
with my 92.
Yeah.
72, so not that
Okay.
great, but decent enough.
Um, you open it up, and inside of it, you find some very odd things. You find um, what looks like women's clothing, including a number of shoes. You find an old hat, and you find a photograph. And the photograph is of a woman. She looks like she's maybe 40 years old. Um, uh, and uh, uh, there is well, let's see, do a spot hidden for me.
I'll spend 14 points of luck for this one, because I need to spend luck anyway. It's 88, 78. Okay.
There is a rather striking resemblance between the woman in the picture and Joshua Meadham.
This is the daughter, is what I'll assume.
It
Well, it's
looks like
already, yeah.
it's stuff from her or that was left behind.
Okay. I'll keep opening a few boxes at random till if I don't find any, let's say after 4 or 5 boxes, if I don't find anything that really entices me anymore, I'll see if I can join up with Fern or something.
You
Because
find
if
a
she
few
does,
odd things, but most of them look like archaeological items that were recovered from various digs that all have some sort of related serpent empire uh, meaning. A tablet here or a sort of a piece of a chunk of rock with Nakal written on the side of it.
yeah, okay, so nothing special, nothing magical, just, yeah, okay.
All right. And Fern, Uh, now that you're back in the room, what do you want to do?
Well, if I crack the door and peek out, can I still see the guard's light, or has he gone pretty far down the
He's gone
hallway?
around a corner somewhere. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to sneak back across and get to the typing room.
You kind of feel that the floors are fairly similar, so you know that that hallway is going to go around the central part of the building with rooms on either side, and so that guard may come back around,
Hmm.
uh, but he probably won't do that every 10 minutes. He'll do it every hour or two. All right. You go across, and the room that you enter into is the secretarial pool. It looks like there's room for maybe 12 um, secretaries, typists. And then up in the front, there's a much grander desk um, with a few personal items on it. You see a picture of a man and a woman that's obviously Miss Parville and her husband, you would guess. Um, her desk is well organized and neat, but there is a file built into it that is locked.
Hmm.
Her drawer has pens and pencils and various things like that, but there's no set of keys there.
Well, shoot, I don't have any lock picking abilities. Ugh. Goose, I'm calling him. Goose, I'm at Dorothy's desk, but her drawer's locked, and I bet she's got the key to the filing cabinets. Can you get this lock picked?
I'll come over and try.
So while you're doing that, the others, you've gotten up to the 18th floor. Um, your door opens not into a hallway, but into a room that you think is fairly central to the building itself. Uh, it's uh, it's very well appointed. It's very fancy. There's beautiful wood paneling on the walls. The carpets are very luxurious. This is obviously feels more like a suite than it does an office, but it's a very fancy office. There's a number of doors leading out, um, and the ceiling above you opens into the dome. The dome is apparently just a fancy dome. It's got some artwork on it and angels and things like that that you'd kind of expect to see from a neoclassical sort of architecture. Um, there is a desk and there is a large double door on the other side. The desk itself looks like for a private secretary or somebody who would be sitting there not allowing people to just go through the double doors.
Well,
It's dead silent up here as well.
uh, how many external windows can we see? How open is this space?
Along one whole side of it, there are very large windows that look out over New York City.
And the double doors will meet him's office, and that's where the balcony is.
Right.
How many places could there be a security guard on this floor?
You're guessing that they would be back over. There's more than one elevator that comes up here. So possibly you wouldn't need much more than one or two.
Yeah, I'm just surprised not to see any flashlights as soon as the lights go out.
Nothing.
Interesting. So obviously, Stoney and I are being sneaky about our flashlights, but I'm trying to see. Stony, I know that there was an antenna attached to that dome
Yeah.
relatively recently, so there should be some kinds of electronics that are newer than that art.
Yeah, you would imagine there would be like some sort of conduit or they run the wire down the
Something.
inside of the dome. Um, I
I mean, it
figured that
was,
would go into the main room, don't you think?
oh,
Behind the
maybe because of
doors.
Medium's office, right? All right. Um, I wonder if that's kept locked at night. I would imagine they wouldn't want security just walking into his private office. Let's give it a little gentle shake.
Yeah. We'll listen at the door and then
No
kind of
sound.
see if the doorknob will open.
Okay. Surprisingly, the door is not locked. And it's the kind of door that can open up like this. The Joshua Medium's office is once again what you'd expect from a big pharmaceutical mogul at one point in time. Um, there's a lot of, he seems to like Japanese lacquered furniture. Um, there's artwork on the walls, which is just basically, paintings and things like that. There's a large bookshelf with multiple books and things. There's a number of glass cabinets that have what look like medical specimens inside them. There is a skeleton on a hook like you'd find in a doctor's office, and his actual desk is a beautiful mahogany thing with all sorts of frilly stuff on it, and a big lamp, uh, and uh, and big large windows looking out over the city. In fact, there's so much light coming up from New York City that it's lights up the ceiling inside of the office. And there's also another small door near his desk, um, that looks like it might be a private bathroom or something along that line. And there's chairs, various chairs and tables around where he could chit chat and talk to somebody or whatever. The furniture's all leather and beautiful.
Well, of course, I want to palpate that desk. I want to see
Yeah.
if how many drawers are locked and what he has in terms of secrets, because that's the kind of desk that has hidden
Okay.
chambers.
You do that. I'm gonna take the cabinets and things along the walls.
Sounds good.
Okay. So as you guys are looking around, um, why don't you both do spot hiddens for me?
Well, geez, on the dot, not special at all.
I got a regular success.
Okay. So, Stony, as you are looking around on the shelves, there are once again a few small trinkets of what look like Nakal jewelry, serpentine jewelry. Um, there's like a tablet that's written. All of these things look like artifacts that he may have found along the way. There is what looks at first like a box that is covered over in maybe a blue velvet cloth. Um, and You get the funny feeling that there's an odd smell coming from it, kind of like sawdust.
Interesting. Um, does it look like the Death Ray Sun box that we?
No, no.
No.
It
Okay.
looks like, I'd say it's probably about 3 feet. Well, no, it's probably about 2 feet long, a foot high, a foot deep, and sitting on the shelf with the cloth draped over it.
Okay. And is there anything like embroidered on the cloth, or is it just plain? I'm going to like pick up the corners of the cloth and kind of fold it back with the intention that I could fold it back
Cover
in
it back
place when I'm done.
Right.
Yeah.
As soon as you start to lift it, you're seeing shiny metal like brass, and the smell of sawdust and maybe the smell of urine. And as you flip it back, you realize it's a small cage, and there suddenly is a high-pitched whining that comes from inside of it, and you realize there are 2 guinea pigs that are in the cage that were asleep when you uncovered it, and it woke them up, and they're alarmed, so they're squeaking rather loudly.
Okay. I'll just cover it back.
And after a moment, they kind of calm down.
Yeah. And I look over at Dr. Harrow and I'm
White.
Dr. Harrow, the desk also has a kind of a double filing cabinet built into it, that it's locked. The only drawer that's openable is the small one at the top that just, once again, has pens and pencils and things like that in it.
No. It's probably much nicer a desk than I have, but the kind that have basic key locks can often be thwarted from underneath, because what you're locking is a little metal brace that stops it from pulling out, and you could just push that brace up if you. So I'm going to go on my back and shine my light around the inside of the desk and see if I can, not being a locksmith, just brute force one of these doors open without breaking anything.
The you realize that it's a little more substantial than your average desk. If you're willing to do, what do I need you to do? I would need you to do a locksmith roll, but you need an extreme.
Right. So if I roll, well, it's, there's no reason not to roll. I mean, I have a base in locksmith, which is 1%. So if I roll something that I can afford to get very lucky with, 23. Yeah, I'll spend 22 points. Or do I have to spend 23 to make... No, 22 at the most I can spend. To get a 1-for-1, is that...
Yeah.
It's still an 01.
I'd say 22.
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, that's right. I don't know that you can get an extreme on...
I don't know that you can get an extreme from having base. I might have to get on the converser and say, Ricky Tikki Tavi needs to open up a box. I just had a dream about Ricky Tikki Tavi, the mongoose. And I'll go and do something that I'm better at.
Yeah, I'd say that's the case. It's a good question, though, for Call of Cthulhu. I think that's, yeah. Can you get an extreme on a 1 if you've only got 1%?
Yeah.
All right. Because the argument could be that it's also a critical success if you get an 01. But you can't use luck to make a critical success. That's correct.
I would say if he paid for all of it to get down to 1, that would be the equivalent of an extreme success. Because he paid everything up until 1. But that's up to you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna... I feel like luck is great, but I'm not doing anything heroic here.
Somebody with more locksmithing skills might.
Maybe I'll study. Maybe I'll ask your Uncle Jack for some tips later, Lloyd. For
Jimmy.
now, I'm going to go and investigate those guinea pigs. I want to see whether they are pets, which might be indicated by, say, their age, or indications that they have toys and activities, or names, or whether they're snacks, in which case they wouldn't have any of those things. And as a medical man, I might be able to figure that out with a little thoughtful probing.
One of them is white, one of them is brown. They're short hairs. They have a water bottle and they have some sort of compressed pellet food, but that's all they have. They're both female, if that makes any difference.
I mean, it doesn't unless you want them to breed.
The cage itself is pretty utilitarian, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. We looked in at Tyranisha's foodstuffs. Did she have a similar cage with a similar setup?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Well, yeah. Stoney, I'm gonna go and see if I can figure out anything about the antenna and the rest of the floor. I told Goose that he could try the desk if he wants. I can't get in. It's locked.
That sounds good. I'm gonna check out this door. I think it's a bathroom, but I'm gonna check it out anyway. And then probably take a look at the desk out front too.
Okay. You go to the bathroom door, or you go to the door and you open it up, and it's a little more complicated than a bathroom. It looks like it's got to the right-hand side, there is a bathroom like you'd expect, very nicely appointed. To the left, there's like a glass panel, and beyond that, it looks like a sauna, you know, like the Norwegians use.
Okay. Like I said, just looking, and if I don't really see anything worth spending time on, I'll just move on to something else.
The desk out front appears to be actually the desk of the fellow they call Channing, who seems to function as bodyguard, and he doesn't have any personal items at all there. He's got some stationery, but it looks more like he just sits there and makes sure nobody bothers Joshua Meadham. And that's about all you find, at least with the rolls you guys made. What do you guys want to do next? We'll go back to Fern and what's Lloyd? Okay, Lloyd went to DeLuca's. Let's do him. So Lloyd, you've managed to come out, but you are also pretty sure there is a guard here somewhere. He's probably making the rounds of the 8th floor. But for the moment, he's not in the office. What do you want to do while you're there?
I want to go into DeLuca's office and get access to his desk. I want to see if I can find any files on... He's the head of security, so he has to know what's going on at the warehouse. He has to know about the mission we're going on. He has to know just about everything. And I'm looking for anything I can find.
Okay.
And anything that also talks about the goings-on of Mr. Meadham as well. Because I'd imagine head of security, he knows this detail pretty well.
Right. Once again, desk is locked. Do you want to try your hand at breaking into his desk?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and roll locksmithing?
Let's see. Okay, so I've rolled a regular pass. Do I feel like this is something I should do a little bit hard? Do I feel like he's a meticulous asshole who's going to notice anything that might be like messing with his locks? Like, do I need to get like a hard? Is that a fair
Um,
question?
you know what? For him, yeah, I'd think a hard. What would it take you to get it down to a hard?
13.
Oh,
Okay, I'll spend
yeah.
13 points of luck.
So being very careful, not wanting to be seen. Um, there are a number of schedules and schedule books in his desk that indicate uh, uh, Joshua Meadham's itinerary, where he will be, where he won't be. And it looks like that for the next week or so, he will be in and out of the building on a daily basis. After that, there's going to be a period when he goes to his Connecticut uh, ranch or whatever it is, estate. And he'll be there for a couple of days and then he'll be coming back. There is a file that you find that has the name in like black marker across the top of it that says Rose Meadham.
That's weird.
It looks
Rose
like a
is not
file that
around.
hasn't been pulled out very often, at least not lately.
Just a quick flip through it, and seeing the last time that anything was updated. Like, is this like 2 or 3 years old? Is it 6 months old?
It does look like everything that's in it is fairly old. It's a lot of details about Rose Meadham, um, where you saw a lot of it you already know about what the incidents that took place were, where she might be, where her last known sighting was somewhere in South America, which might have some indication that it was not too long. It was probably just before you guys arrived there. And there is a photograph. However, the photograph looks like the woman in the photograph has been injured. She looks like this. And there is a note indicating that she was sprayed in the face with a caustic material. So she should be easily identified if she's seen in public. But she's very secretive at this point and doesn't usually show her face.
Okay.
Other than that, you don't really find anything useful, except that you do see the schedule of the guards, when people are going to be where, and so forth. Um, it could be used to your advantage if
Does
you're
it
trying
mention
to
anything
sneak
about
around.
like the warehouse?
Nothing at all.
So it's only about the building itself.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. I want to
The
mentally take
person who
down a
would
few
know
names
mostly
and
about the
thoughts.
warehouses would be the quartermaster, Connors.
Okay. I just figured the head of security would know about everything because they have to have details on everyone.
Yeah. Well, there's other places that could be stored too, but there's nothing about it here.
Nothing about the upcoming mission either. Just a few files on some of the people that work here and Rose.
Correct. And you were
Is
only
there?
told about the mission coming up a couple of hours ago, a few hours ago.
They'd still have to have some kind of details on it that maybe
DeLuca
they didn't
does
show.
seem like his main job is the building.
Okay. I figured he was like head of like security for everything. Like he worked,
He
hand in
probably
hand.
is, but that's mostly the building. Obviously, the
So
estate as well.
is there anything that mentions about the estate, like how many guards, the name of the guards of the estate? Uh, Maybe the name, like this is really stupid. Maybe the name of the people who deliver the food to the estate because this guy does not go shopping for himself.
Um, I would say that, yeah, you don't have that information. However, the number of guards, I think that it lists. I don't see what that is.
Sorry for all the meticulous information.
No, that's okay. It's a good question. Let's see. There are.
and he
There
doesn't have
are
another
6.
office.
All right. There are 6 guards that are stationed at the estate. And as you read previously, there is something about hybrids and dogs. Well, not lizard dogs.
Okay. And there's nothing else that I find inside the office. There's no mention of another office that he has or anything like that. Does it have DeLuca's like personal address listed anywhere?
Yeah, that makes sense that he might have personal information there. There's probably also files on all of you. None of them are significant except yours, which he really doesn't trust you. And it looks like he's probably sent investigators out to find out everything about you that you're not willing to disclose to him, you know.
Does it mention anywhere about what the investigators look like so I know who to look out for?
No.
Okay. So nothing to really go off of.
Right. Except that he's got his eye on.
And there's nothing else left in this office. Really stupid thing.
Quartermaster.
What were you saying?
Quartermaster is also on this floor.
Yeah, I'm going to put everything back the way I found it and lock the desk up.
Okay.
And I don't know how much longer I have if I can get there, but I'm going to try.
Yeah, let's Buzz, you're downstairs, you've caused a power surge, it's gone off. How long do you think that power surge will keep the lights off? Approximately.
Well, I think what I've done is I've made it to where I can go and turn the power off to the top 2 floors. I figure we probably get away with, 8 to 10 minutes before questions start coming up of, hey, when is this going to
Yeah.
get back up? At which point I'd be like, hey, run off and try to figure it out, and buy myself more time.
So I rolled a 12-sided dice and got an 11. I'll
Okay.
say that after 11 minutes, you hear somebody coming down the hall and you see a flashlight, and it's somebody in security who comes in, and he says, Mr. Bellamy, you said there'd be a power surge. The power's been off now for 11 minutes. Are we going to get that power back on?
Oh yeah, let me go take a look and see what I can do. Sorry, this thing it strangely took a lot more power than I expected. So let me turn this off and then I'll run over and see if I can get power restored back.
Okay, and he's going to stand there and watch you.
Yeah, I will
He'll hold the
mess
flashlight so that you can see
yeah, I will mess around inside this machine that really is just a power sucking thing for, as long as until it seems like he's impatient, then I will run off and, do a similar thing at the main, breakers or whatever. Stall as long as I can before I have to flip the switch and get the power back on in the building.
All right, roll a 1d8 for me.
Okay. I rolled a 3.
So 11, 3, 14 minutes. Around 14 minutes, the power is going to come back on. Do you want to? Oh, he's standing there watching you.
I'm going to say just to him, conversationally, and hope that anybody on our secure feed understands, like, I feel like the sun's going to come up like 8 minutes earlier tomorrow, right? Is that the amount of time we gain with, the seasons changing and whatnot, 8 minutes earlier?
Oh, I don't know. I don't get to see the sun very often.
That's sad and concerning. I'm sorry. The sun's a beautiful thing that invigorates life in all of us. You should just go stand in it for a while.
So you're thinking it'll be on in a few minutes?
Yeah, and maybe like 4 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes, we'll have power back on the building.
All right. Do you want some coffee or something? I can get you a cup.
Sure, yeah, I'll take coffee. Just in case this maybe takes 5 or 6 minutes.
So he leaves.
And then once he's out of earshot, I was like, I can stall this guy for like 5 minutes. Get done what you need to get done.
All right. But I'd say that whatever you guys have done, unless you can come up with something brilliant, you've run out of time looking around. And that doesn't mean that you don't.
Can I get to the quartermaster's office?
Yeah, you'll have to move. You won't have much time. But then again, you're allowed on 8.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm going to be booking it over there.
Okay. I'd say that you get over to the quartermaster's office after just a minute. And his office is closed. His door is locked, but this is just a regular old door.
I can certainly give this a little try real quick to see if I can get it open.
Okay, go ahead.
I can spend 4 points to make it a hard, or I can just keep it as a regular.
We'll just say a regular is all you needed.
Okay.
Okay. His office is also very well organized. He's got lots of filing cabinets. He has a filing cabinet in his desk, but it's not locked. Let's have you do a library roll to see if you can find anything significant.
Oh, God, library? He can barely read.
You're a linguist.
Library. Oh, God, there's nothing else you could give me? Not even law?
Nope.
Okay.
You're trying to find the documents in a filing cabinet. It's kind of library.
Ooh, this is not good. Let's see. I rolled a 1.
Excellent.
On a base skill of 20, I rolled a 1.
So what you find is, of course, like I say, everything is alphabetical. You look up Red Hook, and you find that there is a listing for both warehouses. There's an indication that Warehouse 1, which you believe is the one that they use a lot, it's listed as only having 3 guards. I'm sorry, it's listed as only having 1 guard. It's 3 guards, but they take shifts. The one in question has 10 guards per shift, 30 guards that go in and out of it. However, it indicates that it is mostly empty, that it is being used in case of an emergency, and that shipments in and out They don't really. Oh, you'll have to do an accounting roll. How's your accounting? It's another one.
I don't think my. That's base skill. That's 5. We can try.
Actually, it says you can do either library or you can do spot hidden. So any one
Let's
of
do
those.
spot hidden. Because that's a 41 versus base. So. And I rolled a 10 on spot hidden. So that's. I can spend 2 to make it an extreme if I need to, but it's already.
No,
hard.
that's cool. That's cool. The only thing that seems to be kept there on a regular basis is a chemical. The chemical being dimethyl phthalate, which I can spell that for you later because it's crazy spelling. And that more of it seems to go in than ever comes out of that warehouse. You also have all of the, and the only reason these things are on at the quartermaster's is because he's showing the payments, paying the guards, paying them for their shifts and so forth.
Does it mention names of the guards?
Yes, he would have the names of every guard and every employee in the building.
Does it?
So
it's meticulous, not too meticulous. I just want to see, does it have like a leader of the guards, like boss, or does it only have like lists of names?
it just has lists of names.
I want to remember like 4 or 5 of the names,
Okay.
just in case I need to lie my way
You
in
can
somehow.
you can probably tell by those who have a slightly higher salary than the others, the ones who
Okay.
might be important. So we'll say you got 5 or so of those. And you get the message that the lights are about to come back on from Buzz. And
Okay. And was there anything that's... I might be pushing my luck. Is there anything that's mentioned about the upcoming case that they didn't mention to us?
nothing.
Okay.
All right. So we'll assume that you guys all secret yourselves out of wherever you are just before the lights come on.
Okay, I was thinking of just. I've only seen one guard on this floor, so I was thinking about maybe trying to see if I can find more, but
Yeah, I was going to make a bad dash for her trash can and rifle through it to see if I could find anything important in
Go
there.
for it. We have lots of luck. Burn it.
Uh, you have lots of luck, but I don't necessarily have anything in the trash can.
I mean, I know she seemed very meticulous, but darn it, typists make mistakes.
we could still like lockpick the file cabinets.
Yeah, well, I think, over the group channel, it's like, I've had another bad dream. I'm imagining, the view from the 8th floor where we could all have a sort of schoolroom and think about what we've learned.
And your time is not limited to one time. Now that you've been up there and you know how to work your way around things, the next time would be faster. And
Yeah, that's true.
might be able to bring something to help in the things. In any case, what you're going to go back down to the 8th floor and maybe meet?
That's what I'm suggesting over our coded comms.
Okay.
I'm just going to
So
be
if
sitting
you-
down having a cup of coffee when they show up.
A few minutes later, you arrive at conference room 1, and Lloyd is sitting there drinking coffee.
Well, what have y'all been up to?
Well, I don't know, but where's our coffee?
You go down the hallway, take a left. There's a pot over there. It's got some of the best cold coffee you've ever had. We'll just keep taking a sip.
Prefer tea at this hour of day.
I prefer bourbon at this hour of day.
I just got into. Have you ever had Turkish tea? It's pretty delightful. You should try it.
It's also 1930. There's probably alcohol in the office.
Yeah, even with
probably
prohibition.
probably a full bar. Oh, that's true. That's true.
But I mean, prohibition was more of a formality, right?
Prohibition does not apply
Yeah.
to the mid-level secret floors of a wealthy organization.
That is true.
Yeah.
We could probably just walk over to the counter and just literally just like pour a little bit of alcohol
As
into
I-
whatever.
Well, that
As
would
I've-
be an interesting experiment to see how alcohol affects your newly evolving bodies.
Jack pours around of bourbons for all who want some.
Two
As we have
reptiles-
pointed out as we've pointed out in other games, alcohol is not illegal during Prohibition. Selling and buying alcohol is illegal. Having it is not illegal.
Oh, you can buy it for religious purposes, right? That's how the wine industry survived, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But rich people always had alcohol in the Prohibition.
So the good news is, as far as Stanley and I could tell, they didn't even maintain a guard on 18. The bad news is that he's got a pretty nice mahogany desk with pretty decent locks on it that I can't do anything with. And also, he keeps a couple of rodent snacks in his office.
Axe.
Does that mean you wait?
Yeah.
You reckon he's a
Don't think he's all Homo sapiens anymore, at any rate.
I mean, we had our suspicions from that letter we found.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not judge. Half this table here.
Right, but this table, I mean, obviously, I haven't told my family, but he's keeping a secret.
I mean, this place is full of them, it seems.
Yeah, well, we verified that. Also, can't figure out what the antenna on the roof is for.
Probably for sending out messages, I would imagine, across the city or further, relaying things like that. I mean, how they talked to us back in, South America.
Yeah, he did communicate with us pretty far away.
But they. I
There,
wonder how
there
many
is-
different.
Just to clarify, there is a radio room in the building, and it's on 8. The cables could be going up to that, just not on the inside of the building, maybe on the outside of the building.
Maybe he didn't want to ruin the aesthetics of the dome, the putti and cherubim that were painted up there. But we didn't have to shoot anybody, bonk anybody, or gas anybody, so we got away with it on our side.
Yeah,
But
Fern
we
and I
didn't
just-
find out anything. Or did you in that other room, Goose?
I just found some old clothes and a picture of this lady. I suspect it was Rose. Hard to tell, but yeah. She had the photo. She had a striking resemblance to Joshua.
The photo I looked at, did it look pretty close to Joshua?
Yeah,
Did she
kind
look
of.
very And I just start asking, I describe her, did she look like this? And I start describing the photo.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clothes?
sounds
Why
like
would they
No.
be keeping her clothes?
I don't know. It was they had all kinds of different archaeological objects from Serpentine civilizations. There was some Naakal on the boxes, and then in English, like dates and where they found it. I guess it would be my guess.
Well, I mean, that makes sense, to have those types of things in storage, but I don't understand her clothes being in storage.
I mean, she betrayed her father, if that story is to be believed. Joshua might still, like, it's still his daughter. People, even though your child does something horrible, it's hard to let go sometimes.
Hmm.
Would be one explanation. I'm not sure if I buy it, but it could be one explanation.
Well, was it the clothes that she was wearing in the photo?
No.
No.
And it was also multiple sets, right?
Yes. Correct.
Well, if I remember correctly, she did a mission, and she was the only one that came back. Was that right? And do you think that those boxes might be the collection of what came out of invest that mission, which would kind of explain her clothes and the other kind of things?
Right, but from what we were told, she was back here for a while
I think
doing
she was
nefarious things.
for
Yeah.
10 years or so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 8. Yeah.
Tom, how old was that photo I saw? Was it just like 2 or 3 years old? Was it 5 years old? 10? Did it have a date on it?
Oh, you can't really tell. But she looked like she was the right age to be his daughter 20 years ago, you know.
Yeah. I sure would like to have a look at that desk also sometime, Dr. Harrow.
Yeah. Two fairly deep file drawers that have nice locks on them probably have some information.
What blocks did they have on them?
The
Fancy modern. Yeah.
yeah, like he has an expensive, well-made desk with good locks, not something that I could figure out. Might be a low bar for you, of course.
Well,
As somebody,
I definitely want to get in those filing cabinets across from the topping pool. They may have notes and maybe why they are holding so hard on to Tyranniche. We can get more information about that.
Yeah, they have to be logging something about her because they're questioning her that she's giving them all this information. They might also explain why they are still keeping her or what discussions are going on around that. Yeah, definitely something I'd like to return to.
maybe we'll give the blackout nights a break so we don't get tossed out of the organization before we see about Oklahoma, just in case that's actually significant.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
yeah,
probably
yeah.
expecting us to gear up for that in the next couple of days. So
No, I would definitely do it after Oklahoma, give them a time to.
Buzz, you're a little bit more on the mechanical side of things, but I figured between the two of you, what was the name of that chemical, Tom? Dimethylphenamine or something?
Yeah, I was gonna
Philphanate, dimethylphilphanate.
dimethyl, where is it? Dimethyl PHTHALATE.
Phthalate, dimethyl phthalate.
Yeah,
PHTHA.
Either of
LATE.
you know about a chemical called dimethyl lemonade?
not me. Yeah.
Can I try a medicine roll for that?
Right. Or would that be
Phthalates are a big
You
group
could,
of compounds.
right?
yeah.
I have a regular that I can spend down to a hard for 8.
Okay. It's
Oh, I got a
a
7.
oh, that's pretty good.
Blows me out of the water.
Yeah. Under my pharmaceutical, maybe I might recognize it.
Yeah, it's not a pharmaceutical.
Okay.
Fern, you might know about it. It's like a brand new on the market, last couple of years insecticide.
Oh, insecticide. What the hell would they be needing all this insecticide for?
Oh, I just ran across it in some reading I was looking at. It's nothing really.
Uh-huh.
That's why you brought it up, because it's nothing.
Well, I mean, it didn't.
Green, do you want me to hang you out of the window by your ankles, or do you want to tell us why you asked about dimethyl lemonade?
Dimethyl lemonade. Thank you very much. I'm a doctor. You could really take my word for it. I've had some expertise in reading through this area, and
I've had some expertise in dangling men outside of windows by their ankles.
well, I mean,
And maybe I have some expertise in putting some dimethyl in your lemonade.
well, I mean, I was just a little light reading I ran across, and I was just I was a little curious. Got a feeling we might run into it sooner or later.
Ran across where? Where did you run across
Just around
this?
the office.
Lloyd, I know the people you owe money to very well. They are clients of mine.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you seem kind of friendly with them. Although, to be honest, you didn't seem that friendly with them. You seemed like a little bit less friendly with them. I'm really surprised they actually let you through with that. I was really figuring they were going to hang you for that.
Well,
or at least beat you across the head a little bit.
Sidetracked. Just tell us what you know. We don't have to do this dance every time.
Right, unless you're going into some sort of bug business, what money does this hold for you? No value.
I'm not going to stop Dr. Harrell from ever dangling you outside a window.
What the hell would they need for this in a warehouse?
We're so close.
Oh.
We're so close to getting the full story.
So you were seeing documentation from the warehouse.
Let's say theoretically I did.
Theoretically, Dr. Harrell's going to put his foot up your ass.
There's no shame in it. We were all snooping around. No need to hide it. You're amongst friends, I guess.
Are you amongst friends, Dr. Green? Mr. Green?
Do you wish to be among friends?
Doctor is fine. Thank you very much, Jack. And
I feel like that diminishes Dr. Harrow's, profession, but
I spent 8 years, thank you very much, learning that. And just so you know, yes, it has something to do with Red Hook. I had a little look through just, like a box or two, and I found a few things, and it looks like they've been playing around with insecticide a little bit. And I'm just curious, like, what would that be used for? Especially if a lot of it's coming in, but a little less of it's going out.
Gosh, you can make things so much easier.
yeah, to Stoney, I'm like, do you think it's just fun for him? Is it just fun for him?
I'm telling you, the next time he pulls a shit, I'm going to put him a full Nelson and shake him.
Yeah. This conversation is loud enough for Green to hear.
Oh, yeah. I'm not hiding any of this.
So, they're taking more insecticide out than they're bringing in.
No, the other way around, right?
Yeah, the other way around. So they're keeping something at bay?
There are two options as far as I can see. They're using it or as an insecticide, or they're using it as a chemical compound to make something else with it.
There are a lot of guards. Like, we were looking at it, looked like there were 10 guards each. Yeah. Times 3. Every 8 hours. So, whatever's in there, they're not letting anyone in.
Right, but why would they need a bunch of guards to guard bug spray?
Don't think they're guarding bug spray. I think bug spray is something they need. The guards should keep us out. Rather.
Yeah, or they're keeping something under control by poisoning it.
Yeah.
but not killing it. And it's something dangerous enough that they need a number of armed guards to control.
They're paying them pretty damn well.
Does it seem to you that Caduceus could really use some, I don't know, an ethics board?
Oh yeah.
I could head that. Would anybody else be? What are you laughing at?
I mean, for Caduceus, you might be the right fit.
This is true. This is true.
But yeah, this organization is not what I expected it to be when I signed up.
It's pretty much everything I expected it to be.
Hmm.
I tried telling you.
You know, I wonder what our previous handlers knew. I wonder if poor Shapiro had an idea who he was working for. I mean, not that I do.
I guess with that said, are I mean, are we continuing on then? I mean, it seems like there's a fair amount of distrust here.
Hmm.
Well, I know if you want to take a look at his estate, it'll be a little bit easier getting around than it will be at that warehouse, probably.
Oh,
Well, his
because
estate is really far away.
Didn't you
Maybe
say
really
that?
far away, but it has a fifth of the amount of guards.
I mean, did the letter say that they had dogs and whatnot?
What letter?
Yeah.
while you were away, we saw some correspondence. And
Oh,
you
there
could
was
have
a
a look at
letter
it.
inside of the quartermaster's office. It looks like they've got a few guards there. Not that many, though. Like a handful. Something about hybrids.
More hybrids. You know, Goose, I thought you were a rare guy. And now, you know, we're three already, and they have some, and the boss might be one.
It might.
Oh, the
The
daughter
thing I'm
definitely
wondering,
is.
the thing I'm wondering is, I thought this technology to make hybrids. We told Caduceus we wanted to make this thing, and they never told him, "Oh, we already have a machine like that." So, are they making them themselves? Are they these hybrids just flocking to the organization?
Oh, they definitely can
How
make
does
them.
this
Like
happen? Yeah,
Rosa's
but
all sorts of fucked up.
why didn't they tell us that they have a machine already when Buzz was making his special room and everything?
Is it possible that their method is far more crude that involves insecticide?
Hmm. I think it might be crude, but the insecticide might be another matter.
Hmm.
I'm wondering if they have, you know, some entity like Tyrannish is talking about controlling for energy in a warehouse in Red Hook, and they have to keep it under control with poison or feed it poison or who
I mean, it
knows.
still goes out, though, which is weird. It just a
Right.
little
More
less.
goes in than comes out. Yeah.
Or it's a terrible plan to destroy an ecosystem by killing all the insects, which would therefore decimate our population.
What,
Insects keep everything going. They pollinate the plants. Plants will die.
what is our moral standpoint here? Are okay. It seems as if most of us don't trust Caduceus fully.
Not fully.
Well, they don't
So
seem to trust us either, which is a problem because they hired us to do a very important job, but they weren't willing to share information. They're
So-
like,
That
so-
asshole
just
DeLuca
as you
has
need
people
to know.
following me.
so in what okay, as lowly as possible as to avoid, or if we feel we're in a safe space. So in what capacity are we operating in anymore? Are we going on these
Well-
missions to figure out what Caduceus is doing?
I think that as muddled as things are, Buzz, we have every reason to believe that telling us the truth about the inner night. They seem to be willing to kill and destroy at every level indiscriminately.
I just worry. I don't want us to be in a situation where we're advancing a bad agenda.
Yeah. No, that's
It's
why
hard to
I think we
say.
want to know more.
Yeah, it's hard to say without more information.
Then I think we just need to agree, all of us, long look at green, that we need to make sure that we are, talking to each other and
Why'd you look at me like that?
ignores that, and being aware that we are staying on the right side of good here. I mean, we may have to go against, we may have to do some things to make sure we're figuring out what Caduceus's play is and all this, but make sure we're staying on the right side of doing what's good for, everyone.
Yeah. I think that as a group brought together by Caduceus, we have gained the responsibility for helping maintain civilization, both with the help of, but also potentially against Caduceus.
Yeah, I mean, I can
turn out to be.
I consider you all friends, or to Green, potential friends if some certain barriers were dropped. So I just, I want to make sure we're all going to be on the right side of things at the end. And I want to make sure we all carry each other to that point.
Yeah, we all want to be good apples.
Yeah.
Well, we can't be the only group investigating these things. I sure want to get in those files. Maybe we can find out what the other groups have been putting together.
I was just
There
thinking
was no
we
mention
can
of another group, though, right?
we cannot be the only ones. They have artifacts stashed like it's nothing up there. That either there have been other groups or there are other groups. I
Well,
suspect the latter. They have to have more people than just us six to keep this whole thing going, right? It's a whole lot of resources to pour into just us.
Then
Right.
what?
And our
then-
handlers haven't had much luck. How many handlers have they lost over the last 10 years?
I think that's one file cabinet by itself.
Then what is it about us then? I mean, I have to imagine we're the tip of the spear if we're dealing with, sun bombs and stuff like that. Like, you're not handing that off to the down the chain people. So I don't know. In a bit of
expendable.
In a bit of conflicting thinking, I guess, at the moment. Nothing a bourbon can't fix, but
I suppose that we're here because we're outsiders, because they probably feel they can control us to some extent with information,
yeah.
manipulate us, which is an ugly word, but yeah. And accomplish their goals, whatever those might be, whether the ones that they've told us or the ones that they have in the back of their minds.
And we have brought them material goods. We brought them Tyrannish and the staff and the flail, and
I think we need to just stay one step ahead of being fully manipulated. I think we need to have safeguards in place if we need to spring Tyrannish or whatever. I think we need to make plans for extracting ourselves. If things are looking like we're doing the bad work, so we can get on the right side of it.
Wait a minute. Stupid question. Tyrannish, didn't she say that there was a higher level of... Just going through my head. Didn't she say there was a higher level of taking on another person's form where there would be no shadow, no saggy skin, nothing like that?
mm-hmm.
Yes, she possesses that ability.
Yep.
We never saw any saggy skin, no shadows, nothing weird with the big man.
No, but if he's a hybrid, then he's
What
not
if he's
going
not
to.
I mean,
She
we've
said
only
we didn't possess that ability, though, didn't she? She said that was something only she would be able to do, right? That hybrids
Right.
couldn't reach that level.
I think
No,
with
she never said that.
I
Oh,
think
thought
with
she
enough
did.
training, I think it's just that it's, you start at the base level with the taily shadow and everything, but
She's also implied that she could teach you.
yeah.
I think we definitely need to. Some of us
Just
need
wanna
to make
see.
sure we're spending more time with Tyrannish, unless we think she's just the bad part of it, but it doesn't seem that way. So,
We
some
might
of
need
us.
her to realize who we're working with.
Do
She
we
has
have
some-
any?
She has some archaic ideas, but I don't think she's. I think she means good overall.
I think. I mean, yeah. By her own lights, I think her intentions are entirely good. I'm wondering whether she's ever gotten to meet him. You'd think that, the big man would want to meet the ancient queen and vice versa.
But she
If
would
they-
realize
Probably have.
right away that he was a
Well,
hybrid.
that's why I'm wondering whether they
Yeah.
kept them apart.
It's a good question to ask if
Yeah.
she'd ever met Meadham.
She is downstairs.
Right, and
She's
probably
up.
awake a lot.
Especially with the lights going on and off. Might be the only excitement she's experienced.
Do you snake folk turning people feel the need to sleep less? Maybe she doesn't sleep at all. Do you? I mean,
I haven't
I
reached the
sleep like
point
a
of
baby.
torpor yet.
Well, she did sleep for 13,000 years.
true.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Let's go down.
Let's
Go
ask.
down and see.
It's a simple question. Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's any harm in it.
And as we're walking down, I'll also mention one thing to consider is what we'll take on with us with in the next mission. See what the quartermaster can give us. Maybe some neat toys.
I will take no less than 24 grenades anywhere I go from now on.
We didn't
I
get
was thinking more about the supernatural toys, but okay.
I mean, when has a grenade not worked yet, Goose?
I didn't get to use my sneaky knockout juice spray, so I'm looking forward, and our bosses didn't even know about that.
I'm just glad you're not playing a joke on me and just like going up randomly to me and spraying me and knocking me out just for like shits and giggles. But
I mean, I was moments away from telling somebody to just eject one into your face a moment ago, but
that would have been hilarious.
All right, so guys, you're gonna head down to Terranish. All right. When you get there, she is listening to a phonograph of something that you brought her, classical music. And you have access, so you get inside. And she's like, I'm surprised you're here very late.
looking around, is there anything that's like been compressed by a gravity egg or, thrown against the ceiling? Okay.
No, that is sitting over on the side, like a side table.
Okay.
She has been doing some painting on the walls, fixing the tantrum that she had. Although she seems to be on one side, on one far wall, she's doing a kind of a mandala design that's very elaborate and circular on the wall. Not really in the style of other serpent stuff that you've seen, but interesting in its patterns. And
Does it have Na'akal writing in it, or is it just abstract?
it's kind of just abstract. There are lines and angles and circles and things like that are written on it.
Fern, would you memorize this, please?
Sure thing.
She says, so what makes you, why are you here so late at night?
We were just preparing for our next mission. We'll have to go in a few days, but you know, we wanted to check in with you, see if you're all right under the circumstances. We
There was a power
realize we
outage.
haven't been paying enough attention to you. We haven't, yeah,
But
we've
you're
not
all
seen
here
you
to,
as.
you're all here together. Usually you visit me. And she sort of looks around. She comes up really close to you, Goose. And she says, you've changed a little more, haven't you?
I open my mouth and show her my teeth. Yeah, it's progressing. A few days ago, I woke up with this strange itch and I was molting. It was quite an experience for the first time, I must say.
As hybrids, you're going to molt about once a month. She says, you'll find that having something sharp that you can scratch yourself up again will help. That's part of where the camouflage comes in, the losing of one's skin and regaining a new skin. Of course, you can do that crudely by murdering somebody and taking their skin and trying it on. But there are better ways.
Speaking of, we were wondering, have you ever seen your host, Mr. Joshua Meadham?
Joshua Meadham, yes. The first day that I was here, he came down and said a few words to me. But
Did you
they weren't kind, and they were just sort of matter of fact that I was going to have to stay here for a while, he said. But that
did
was
he
quite a while ago.
did you notice anything about him? Did he seem human, or did you maybe?
I I assume he's human. He looks human.
Oh, I thought you could smell like or you could detect the pheromones from.
I'm not so sure about the big man with him.
Channing.
Wait,
You think Channing might be not entirely human?
He seemed rather large and powerful for one of you, unless that's just the kind of people you would hire to be your, what did you call it, a bodyguard.
If if Meadham were human and Channing were a hybrid, why would Meadham have guinea pigs in his office and a solarium there rather than let Channing have his own space?
I don't know.
Indeed.
I've heard that you humans now keep animals as companions in some cases.
Yes, people and wolves have become very close since you went to sleep. We've bred wolves into all sorts of big and small shapes that are very friendly and dependent. People do keep small rodents as pets too, but the ones in Meadham's office looked more like a larder than beloved companions to me.
She looks at you, and you've begun to be able to really read her expressions. originally you couldn't really read them because they were quite alien to you, but you look at her and you know that she's concerned about being kept as a prisoner. You know that she likes you, genuinely she likes you. She says, I think there's something I should teach you uh, soon, perhaps if you're here for the evening. Uh, and that is the thing that you're going to be able to do eventually is disguise yourself. The first part of this is somewhat gruesome. It's a way you can consume a person's likeness. It's what I did when we were escaping in order to look human. And she describes it to you. And it literally is a kind of consuming the person and taking their skin. You've seen bodies of victims. You've found Shapiro's bones and so forth. And indeed, the whole process is really quite gruesome. But she said it's also one of the more natural ways of doing it. Snakes consume animals. You swallow the person, literally, and cough up their bones. She then teaches you a much more sophisticated means, which still involves killing the person, but kind of consuming their likeness without having to eat them. And that is involves some things she has to teach you that, for lack of a better term, are magic, in order to do it. The third way, which is far more magic than it is physical, she tells you it doesn't kill the person, but it does cause them to fall into unconsciousness. The advantage is that you can retain the form. So if you turn into somebody, you can turn back into somebody. You don't lose the form each time. So it gives you a kind of magical disguise, although it does cause the person, whoever it is, to go into kind of a coma when you do it. That's what she meant when she said she could do it without killing the person. But it's still...
Will they ever wake up?
If you drop the persona, yeah.
And even years later, after you retake the persona, the person falls asleep again.
No, once you've got the persona under your thing, and if you retain it for too long, if you keep living in it, the person's not going to wake up from the coma. So there'll come a point where they will just die.
No, wait, let's say I take a persona from somebody, keep it for a day, and then just keep it in the back of my mind for 3 years, and then slip back into it again.
Yes, you'll be able to do that.
And nothing happens to that person after that.
Not that she knows of.
Okay. How many people can do this? Like, or how hard is it to do this? It seems like a very, very useful way of going about it.
Well, it was considered something kind of on a sacred level for my people, so not everybody knew how to do it. And living in my society, you didn't have to do it. Every serpent people just look like serpent people.
Can you also... I'm sorry.
Do you have a store of humanoid forms that you can still recall?
I almost never did it, so no. But she says I can teach this to you.
Does it have to be human forms, or can you also take the form of a snake person or whatever animal.
Well, you actually are a snake person, so you're a hybrid, which seems indistinguishable. So you wouldn't really have to. She says, I actually don't know if snake people can change their color or things like that, but maybe there is a chameleon sort of thing. I'll look it up, see if I can find it. But she says, give me some time and I'll teach this to you. Because I think that you're going to need it.
I can scarcely imagine something more useful when dealing with a religious sect in a small community than being able to pass for one of them. So if we have time before we're sent west,
what she says is that, yeah, she's going to teach it to you before morning. And that's, I think, where we'll leave it for now. Pick it up next week. Our players included Cohen Lighton, Kerry Comer, Kent Blue, Julian Arba, Dakota Poole, and David Gassaway, with yours truly as the keeper of arcane lore. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you'd like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Pulp Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.